In today's video, I will be sharing what I created for my A5 Filofax that I'm going to be taking to school this fall for my new graduate program. Hey everyone, Kat here of Paper, Pens, and Coffee, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you have followed me for a while or just a new follower, especially the new followers, thank you so much for clicking that subscribe button. It means the world to me. We have gone over the hump of 400 followers. I'm trying for 5. Help a girl out. 1,000 by the end of July would be fabulous. Highly doubt that's going to happen, but you never know. We'll have to see. This one is also unnamed as of yet. It's a beautiful leather Filofax A5. Now to give you a comparison, this is an A5. This is a personal. And this isn't a Filofax, but this is a rings. This is from Moterm. So right there, if you were confused, because a lot of times when people film, they filmed really close to the pages and it makes it look really small or really big. And then when you see it in person, you're like, oh, I thought it was bigger than that. So now you know. Why A5? The reason I want to use A5 for multiple reasons. I want to be able to have a lot of space of writing notes or putting in papers that I might need to keep track of. I know everything is so electronic these days. Yet I've been following Greg of Stationary Shenanigans for a while, and he is working on his PhD, and I hear him from time to time how he still uses a lot of pen and paper to keep track of things that he's doing at his job and for his studies. So I'm keeping the analog dream alive by doing this. I will have to go on the computer for certain things, but if I can write it down and use one of my favorite pens, you know I'm going to do it. So anyways, without further ado, let's do a little quick flip through. Alrighty, so if you're not familiar with the A5 size, this is the their first design, the traditional. And, oh shoot, I think these are 30 millimeter rings. Let's get these and just put these to the side right now. And then in the front, it gives you 6 slots like the other ones do. And then they have this little mesh thing. It's not a perfect cut, which I noticed, but that's okay because I'm not going to put my ID in there. This is just a note from my mom because she purchased this for me. And so you can put your ID here. It's a mesh thing, but then they have you a pocket right here if you want to put things. Then there's a zipper pocket here, which I do not put anything in. It's a pretty tight fit. So if you put something in there, you might give yourself a reminder to remember to look there again. Comes with a pin loop, actually 2 of them. I have not used the pin loops yet. And then in the very back, let's slide all this over this way. In the very back, it gives you a little place for a pad of paper, I'm assuming. And then nothing here because it is sewn down. Now this fancy dancy thing was my idea of, so I won't lose it, pen board. So you're like, okay, wouldn't you be taking out your papers and writing on them? Which is true. And I have a lot of these papers I'm going to be using in there. But I'm like, well, if I have to use it, I can slide it under whatever paper and use it. And then I don't have to worry about it. All it is a dollar store placemat. I cut down to A5, rounded the corners, and punched holes in it. And that's that. If I don't end up using it that way, excuse me, I'll make a great board where I can stick sticky notes on here, so I can use sticky notes in my journal. This is a blank fly page thing that came with the journal, so I'm keeping that in there. Or not journal, the Filofax. And then what I did is I cut down a Heidi Swapp Stop the Blur calendar. Now I know a lot of people are doing cutting down this or making this or whatever, and I had a lot of these. I did Heidi Swapp Stop the Blur for 1 calendar year because that was my goal, and I still have a lot of her Stop the Blur things, and it's just little strips of lines with strips, and you're supposed to write things and put pictures in there and decorate it. It just wasn't my jam, but the people that I was hanging out with at the time, it was their jam, so I'm like, okay, let me try it. So anywho, I never got into the calendars, and so what I decided to do is trim it down just a little on the outside so it fit in here, and it's a lot bigger than that freebie that I made for the personal size for me to write into it. So I'm going to show you that now. I just decorated the front because it was just the cover looked like this, which is pretty. Don't get me wrong, it's pretty. But I got this from Kelly Bangs, so I figured out why not put that, because I am going on a journey. This is from Brandy Kincaid, and then I used leftover stickers. As you can tell, once you use alphabet stickers and you don't, you write a couple words, excuse me, then you end up with mismatched stickers. So the front of the book, it had a little block here, excuse me, for each month. It has a little block here for each month where you're supposed to do highlights, and then you would put it in the calendar or vice versa. I think that's why I never used this. But what I'm doing is I'm making the highlights of my journey through the first year of going into graduate school. And so I backfilled the beginning of it, and now I'm waiting. I can write here, I was able to order and I got my books for the class, and I have to re-look up the orientation day. And then when other things happen, I will fill that in. August, our school doesn't start until the last week, so this was just begging to be decorated. So that's what I did. And then most of these things are from Pen and Gears, 12 months of stickers, a year of planning. I didn't want any more this type of thing from Happy Planner because I usually do not use them all, and then they hang around for years after. But what's really cool about this is that they give you 2 pages. So let's say March. Hopefully the camera's not making it blurry. I've been having trouble with my camera lately. And then they have this page. And then that's it. What I would suggest you to do is before you purchase one is take the seals off the sides and look through it all. Because I bought 2 of them. And the May one, this page turned out okay. But the second page in May that had all these cute cacti and whatnot, it was stamped when they did the cutting things. So the cactus was half cut off, the watermelon, the llama lost its legs, half a taco. And so this was, I believe, under $6 at my Walmart. And it's worth the money. And I'd get 2 of them, because then you have it on hand. So that's what, these are decorated in with my washi, excuse me, my washi tape. So this is just August, and then I kept the second page in because, as you can tell, it's the back of each calendar. And so this is supposed to be for like all your memory things, and then you're supposed to transfer it to the other booklet that just have these little rectangles on one page that you're supposed to stop the blur. And I guess my autistic ADHD brain just did not get that. I did it, I followed it, but it just didn't make me happy, so I stopped. So I'm keeping this. I haven't crossed out these words just yet, but I think this will be good if there's certain things going on, if there's events on campus I want to attend, and then for the month, like, you know, like 5 favorite things in my other journal, I can write about that. So September, October, my birthday month. And I was really stingy because I really didn't want to decorate with all of my Halloween stickers because I want to do that in some other things. November, because I started it in August, December, I was able to go through, I think, next July or next June. That's why I told you about May, because you'll see May is not that decorative. And I didn't want to use the ones from this book yet because I want to use it somewhere else. I know, first world problems. But what's really cool, I should say really quick before I finish this part of it, is that they do give you certain international, American, and religious holidays. And then you don't have to write it down. You just stick it on the date that it starts or ends. So let's see. I was able to do June. And I kept one of these from my printable because June will represent our 1-year anniversary of having Lemonzello. So that's why I'm keeping this here, so then I can write about it. And then, yeah, I'd have one more next July. So you still get 12 months. It's just I started. And that is the positive thing about this particular thing that Heidi Swapp created, is that it is undated. So you don't have to start January in the beginning of the book if you're going to do something like this. So that's that. And the rest I'm just going to show you just a little of it. It's a generic Filofax regular thing. I'm practicing decorating and writing in it. As you can tell, I didn't really write in it. I might backlog some things that actually happened in June and write around it. This particular set is from Book Nook Prints, Christina's shop on Etsy. And so I was just, because I'm not using it for school just yet. So if anything, it just looks pretty. And then I was going to practice writing here in July because there are some things that are happening in July. Because this was generic coming through Amazon, I didn't pick what type of layout I wanted. These are columns this way compared to the personal. They make you columns going this way. This might work, especially with a time management. I'm going to do a video on time management for school and for life. And so this might actually come into practice where I might transfer over my worksheet into this now that I'm looking at it. So I'm not totally kiboshing this idea. So anyways, Harry Potter's birthday, you have to do that. So I have all the way through the end of the year because this was a dated 2024. I did not get rid of the others. I kept them back here. And all I have to do is put white out on it and then write the right days. So what else comes with this is the number 1 through 6. So you can make a checklist or something like, oh, 1 has this, 2 has this. That won't do it for me. I'm a color code girl. But anyways, for right now, I just cut them down. I don't know if you can, let's go to a colored one so you can see it. Instead of the see-through one. I got a pack of these from the dollar store. They're not as sturdy as the ones that I liked that I got for my personal one at the thrift shop. It comes with these. And so when I'm going to wait until the first day of school and then do this. Once I know what I want to do, then I can put in each thing. And then I can then take these out and save them for later. But for right now, I just spread out the different type of sample papers they give you. They give you a to-do list. They give you some double-sided graph paper. They give you line paper in all these different colors. And if you're familiar with education or people that have dyslexia or other neurodivergent things, sometimes writing on colored paper or reading from a colored paper helps your brain. So I'm going to be intrigued using these. Let's see. They gave you some blank paper. They gave you a contact list, which I think is so cute because people don't use that anymore, but who knows? I'm like, well, what if I need to, like, write something down, because we're going to be doing internships, so maybe I need to write down, who I'm in contact with. They do a personal information in like 3 or 4 different languages. This was just the first page that came with it. It's saying, welcome in different languages. And then it comes with this very flimsy, careful, don't rip it, pocket that you can slip things in there if you want. And then, of course, it came with this belongs to page, which I've kept. Don't know if I'm going to keep it in here. So anyways, that is my A5 for graduate school. And then in between the Filofax paper, I found some paper, and I haven't punched it all. I just trimmed it. I got this at the thrift shop. Watch that thrift shop video. I'll take it right here. It was made for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 ring binder. And I'm like, oh, I can make that work. But no, it would have driven me nuts having those extra holes there, and it just didn't align right. You know. So it is a little smaller. It's not the complete width of it. But I'm like, well, this is still perfect for notes or for just whatever I need to do. So this particular one, I'll just give you as an example. I punched the 3 holes and that will work. Also, at the thrift shop, I found these. Now these have 3 holes, and these have, it says fits 3 ring binders or multi-ring planners. So as you can see, this will kind of work, but it's either up or down. It's kind of like, oh, have this one and then this one, but then this won't do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim it like I did these. See, this was for a 3 ring binder. But I mean, come on, 120 sheets for 99 cents. Yes, please. And it's college rule. I love college rule paper. Always have. That's the only line paper I do like. So, it's like, oh, yeah, I bought this before I bought this. But it will just cut a little off, and I'll still be able to use it. So that's what I'm going to do. So thank you for watching today and learning about my A5 for graduate school. If you guys have any suggestions for names, I'm open to them. Write them down below. Maybe I will give you guys this sticker or a free printable or something from my shop. You never know. But I'd love to know if you guys like the A5 size for this particular type of journal. Oh, I keep calling it journal. I'm just going to call it a binder. Or you're more of a personal or pocket rings person. Until the next one.